Good afternoon. Happy New Year. So I will, as I usually do, kick this off with the overview of the market and then move into the financial status report as of December year to date. So still a lot of uncertainty in the market right now as we continue to see a lot of concerns around the rise in inflation as well as the rise in Omicron cases and what that effect is going to have on the overall economy. So still, from the bond market standpoint, a lot of uncertainty there. The recent CPI number that came out that showed a 7% increase is kind of a reminder that, inflation is a key driver and risk heading into this year. It's going to impact the Fed's policy, it's going to impact consumer spending and also bond yields, which we're starting to see some of that get priced in. There are some expectation in the market that inflation, the pressures may peak around mid-year and start to kind of level off. But that, that timing will kind of depend on, what happens with this Omicron variant. Because at the moment, that's kind of affecting some of the supply chain issues that we're having. So despite that cool off, there still seems to be the sentiment that there'll be, service inflation that will likely stay strong, which will be supported by the housing prices and rent increases and rising wages as well. We did see the Fed kick off the year with another pivot, which is to directly tackle inflation. So we're now seeing a number of Fed officials calling for policy rate increases, probably in March. This is a big change from their previous, their previous projection of possibly keeping rates unchanged through 2022 and moving, changing them in 2023. So that's a huge pivot. So they're directly going to tackle this inflation head on. So with that, we have, like I mentioned, seen bond rates, get a little priced in from that hawkish language. So we've seen the Treasury yields increase 21 basis points. We've seen the overall curve on the muni curve, short and long rates increase, and then we've seen mortgage rates track the 10-year Treasury and increase as well. On a local front, we continue to see the unemployment rate come down. It moves slightly from 6.9 and the previous reading to 6.2. So kind of unchanged, but still it's moving lower. So it's moving in the right direction. But that's what I have for the market update. Any questions there? All right. And we can move on to the financial status report. Anyone have that up?
Is this the correct page 7?
No, I still see the agenda on the screen. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, I still have the agenda as well.
There we go. If you can maximize that, that would be great. Thank you, Naj. So this is our comprehensive view of our operating fund. Our actual revenues came in at $266,000. We were short of budget by $135,000. We anticipated exceeding budget and closing on 3 pilots here in that multifamily line. We did close on 1 of the 3, just from a operational and admin that they got pushed back. That tends to happen. So those projects, 2 of those projects will close. 1 will close, I believe, in February, and 1 in March, possibly they got scaled back. We'll hear more about that in the programs, but we did close on one, and so that revenue came in December. So you'll see that multifamily line increase from, a lot bigger part of the year. We didn't see that move because we were waiting on those pending transactions, but you can see the amount of revenue from that one transaction was roughly 150,000. On the expense side, actual expenses came in at 1.9 to a budget of 2.2. So there's favorability there of 303,000. It actually came in lower than what I projected and what I've been showing in the past couple of meetings. So that's good that it came in lower. Numbers are still moving around because the books are still open, but I don't see a huge movement. There'll still be considerable favorability there and come in less than what I was forecasting. So the next page. All right, so here is our 13-month trending. You'll see a huge pop in both the revenue side as well as expenses. The revenue is that closing of that pilot transaction. The expense side is the payout of just in the year consultant invoices that we had to get in before the year end. So you'll see a huge increase on the expense side, driven by that consultant and professional services line and that business development line. Next page. Balance sheet composition, nothing to report here. Composition remains fairly stable. Next page. Got our pathways for home ownership. In the year, 2,500 on the revenue side, expense side, 42,000. Really no activity here, but we are working on a plan for this fund, and you will soon hear about that in the coming months. Next page. In the year, cash balance at 9.5. This is roughly the same from the prior month of 9.5, and that's because we had that revenue that came in that offset our typical expenses that we would spend. We typically see this go down, but it remained flat. So we're at 9.5 as of December. And that concludes my presentation. Any questions there?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, that's all I have.
And Wade, I did hear from Mr. Thomas. He was trying to get away from work and he said he would join when he could. But it looks like we're out of agenda, so I can follow up with him once we hang up.
Okay, yeah, it's not significant, that's for sure. Okay, I mean, so that's it. We can, I guess the remainder can wait till the next meeting. For the committee report for last month, can it go straight to the board? Because we usually just received it at the committee level. I think it could go straight to the board.
Yeah, as a reminder, all of the committee meeting minutes are slated as a consent agenda item. So we approve it that way.
Okay. Okay, great.
As long as you guys accept it and there are no issues or other matters, then yep, they go forward. So
Okay.
in this case, Wade, just to be clear, they will not be slated as a consent agenda item because the committee has not accepted the minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
That works. Yeah, that
All
works.
right. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your effort.
Yeah,
Thank you. No problem. Have a good day.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Bye. Thanks.